Hey, everybody, welcome back. Happy Wednesday to you. We are at the midweek portion of this week. It is Wednesday, it's early February, and the most wonderful thing is the fact that you have joined me for yet another edition of 5 Minutes with Phil. And today I want to take a look at for some, it's a rather popular scripture that I want to share with us here today. And I want to talk about your desire for God and your thirst for God and what that means. There are certain things that I find myself having a taste or a thirst for. You know what I'm talking about? Whether it be that, well, I better not rattle off food, otherwise it's going to get messy in here. But you know what I mean. Just have that thirst and that desire for something, something that just hit the spot. Well, you know what? Psalm chapter 42 kind of talks about that in a spiritual way. Look at the screen, and I'll show you what I mean. Psalm 42, it says this: "As the deer pants for streams of water, so my soul pants for you, my God. My soul thirsts for God, for the living God. When can I go and meet with God?" Wow. When you really take a look at those two verses, I mean, you got a man writing here that is just passionate for the things of God. That they just they have a deep desire for the things of God, and he compares it to a deer who is thirsty and will stop at a water brook to quench its thirst. And it's that comparison that we're receiving here in the scripture here today. I've also read and I've also heard that there are times where a deer might try to find safety and shelter in a water brook. Maybe when there is a predator that's lurking and trying to take advantage of the deer. And how incredible of a comparison is that to our spiritual lives? The Bible tells us that the devil's like a roaring lion, uh, going about seeking whom he may devour. I mean, that's the enemy's whole posture with me and you. And I find safety not in my willpower, not in my dazzling personality, or in my talents or my giftings, whatever the case is. But I find uh, I find shelter and I find safety in the Lord. Today, I want to challenge you to, number one, find your safety in the Lord. If you're facing anxiety or problems or crisis or fears, uh, the Lord is your source of safety today. But I also want to challenge you to, um, well, the old Sprite commercial from many years ago challenged the viewers to obey their thirst. Uh, in each and every one of us, there is this desire and this thirst for God. Now, sometimes we fill that thirst with the wrong things, or we fill that thirst with things that aren't necessarily bad, but it's not God. It's not quite what we need. And I would challenge you to give in to that incredible desire that God has wired every single human being with, and that is the desire to get as close to God as possible. Did you hear what the psalmist said? When can I meet with God? And my prayer for me is, Lord, take me to that point where I just love being in God's presence. And for many of us, that's a journey. But I will tell you that that exists within you and it exists within me. We dare not fill that with anything else on earth or anywhere. Our thirst needs to be for God. So today, would you find God as the one that will quench your desires and your thirst? And will you find God as your ultimate source of protection and safety and shelter? I want to challenge you with that today. Walk this day out, live this day out, just like that deer thirsts for the water brook. All right, God bless you. We'll talk to you later. Have a good day. Bye bye.